This is a video by Richmond. Today we are working on a Chevy Prizm / Toyota Corolla. This happens to be a 1998 model. And what we're doing today is we are replacing the exhaust manifold. Here is the problem. The exhaust manifold, see the tubes, how they come down in the collector? You can see that somebody already tried to repair that. That's where our exhaust leak is. You can probably even hear that. Oh yeah. First thing we need to do is get the vehicle up on ramps or jack stands, because we need to get underneath to disconnect the exhaust pipe from the manifold. Then we want to make sure that the engine is cooled down before we start work. Next thing we need to do is to take off these two 12mm nuts that secure the O2 sensor to the exhaust pipe. And you can see why. That O2 sensor is right in the way of one of the bolts that mounts the exhaust pipe to the manifold. Not a very good design. I think they could have came up with a better place to put the O2 sensor. Excuse my hands. See? Now you can get at the bolt. There'll be two 14mm headed bolts that secure the exhaust pipe to the exhaust manifold. So let's tackle those now. Alright, let's get these bolts out of here. I'm using a wobbler extension on the end there to give me the clearance by the cross member here. There's one. There's the other one. Now when we put these bolts back in any bolts on our exhaust manifold, we want to use anti-seize on the threads. Okay, everything's clear. Now we can go up top. Next thing we need to do is to remove the heat shield over the exhaust manifold. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there are two bolts way down here. They're going to be very difficult to get. Now if they break off, big deal. You're not concerned about that because your new manifold is going to have the tapped holes already in for the bolts. Now I've already removed my bolts. You can see that they're very short. And once you do that, we can remove our heat shield. There's the heat shield right there, and there is where the lower bolts went in. Now there are 5 12mm headed nuts that hold the exhaust manifold on. Now some of them will come out like this. Let's see if... See, the stud and the nut came out. Okay. There, we got all of them out of the way. So now we can just reach in there and remove our manifold. And there it is. There's the manifold. Now, it's just a matter of getting our new one and just do the reversed procedure, Make sure you put anti-seize on all your bolts. See right here where the shield bolts to the manifold. So that's why if you break them off, you're not too concerned about that. So that's it. So that's all there is to removing and replacing a exhaust manifold on your Chevy Prizm / Toyota Corolla.